Hey, we're live. You're good over there?
Yes, I'm fine.
I don't want you going in the woods.
No way.
Okay, let me stop. They don't know we were cutting up before I started this. But I just want to say good
Yeah.
evening to everyone out there. Happy Wellness Wednesday. This is your girl, Qadriyyah Marie. I'm the host of On the Queue with Qadriyyah Marie. On the Queue with Qadriyyah Marie is the media podcast for On the Queue Productions. On the Queue Productions is a media brand whose primary focus is to educate and inspire the urban community on personal health, wellness, and fitness. Hence, our guest tonight, Mr. Tyrone Smith. So, Tyrone,
Yeah.
how are you feeling tonight? Actually, I know it's a thunderstorm on the way, but not to scare you up or anything. But how are you feeling tonight? Yeah,
I'm feeling all
you're
right.
looking good, by the way, too.
I appreciate that. Um, this morning was one of those mornings
Yeah.
I didn't know if I wanted to go to the gym or not. So for me, it was just getting to the gym, and that's the first step to get to the gym. And
Mm-hmm.
once I was in there, 10 minutes turned in pretty much to an hour and a half. So I
Wow.
felt good after that. And then
Mm-hmm.
pretty much I said there's more work to be done. So I took a nice little walk and jog for, no, it was more than a walk and jog, but it was, about 9 to 10 miles, and came
Mm.
back home. And other than that, today's been awesome.
So 9 to 10 miles of actually like walking and stuff, or because
Yes, in the beginning,
that's a lot.
yes, in the beginning I do like a lot of like, well, I'm pace walking, it was
Right.
hot this morning, so I was sweating. I was already tired from,
Mm-hmm.
doing the leg exercises this morning, and I
Right.
just, I had to push myself a little more. And then when I seen I was getting tired, I just started to jog, and I was doing like, and, I would jog for a minute, speed walk for 30 seconds, jog for 2 minutes, speed walk for
Mm-hmm.
30 seconds, like that. Until, because I always set a goal. If it took me 2 hours to do before, I try to
Right.
do a little less than that on the way back.
Well, that sounds like a lot. Most people, they can't really get past just 10 minutes, of walking. At least they don't think
Right.
they could. So, would you just like
That
to briefly, just introduce yourself to the audience, give them a brief background on pretty much, your who you are, and if you like how you got started on your fitness journey, because that's what we want to discuss tonight.
okay? Well, of course, I'm Snack Fit 914. You're probably wondering why the name Snack Fit. Well,
Yes, yes.
growing up, being, of course, the taller guy, the bigger guy in the room,
Mm-hmm.
I was given a lot of different names. I was given names like
Mm.
Big Bone, Big Bird,
Mm. Big bird.
Bone Crusher, all, all of these funny
Wow.
names, So no one really even called me Tyrone, So, well, not too long ago, maybe it was about, well, probably like 12 years ago. It's crazy how it happened. I was one of those
Mm.
people that I love to cook. So,
Mm-hmm.
and I always had a little extra with me. Like, even when I played football in school, like my friends that left their like lunch at home, they knew I would have something like granola bar or
Mm-hmm.
something that they can grab and pretty much snack on. So, so
Yeah,
people look forward,
snack fit.
yeah, people look forward to going with me, like even to movie theaters and stuff like that, because I would always, we need food, that was the
Mm.
thing.
Yeah,
So
we
you're
do.
not gonna go hungry with, when you're hanging out with me. So
Okay, I'll keep a note of that because I love to eat. So
no problem, and I love to cook. And so one day I remember, we were playing this game,
hmm
I don't know if it's for Xbox or something, and I think it was Def Jam Fight for New York. and everybody had their mixed characters or whatever, and they was giving them names. And that day was crazy because me and all my homeboys, we're actually at my sister's house hanging out, and we were trying to figure out, like, we didn't have any money. We were just sitting there playing this game, and I was like, there's got to be something in this kitchen that we can eat or something. And I was one of those people that like went in there and just like made a concoction and just like, stuff like that, and it would actually turn out good. So the craziest, it probably sounds nasty, but if I can remember it, it was all she had in the house was cinnamon toast crunch, I think a little hamburger meat, I think some pasta sauce and some maybe some cheese or something, and I just went to town and just made like a crust and all of this cheese stuff. I don't know where the cheese and the cheese and the cereal went together, but for that day,
I don't know either about that one.
So that was the extreme experiment, and everybody was like, because of my reputation of having all of this snacks and all of that, and then, so they invented that, that character to be Snacks, and that name went on to like snacks. Even the kids, my nephew, nieces, and then the neighborhood kids would call me Snacks. And I would go to the store, and when I go to the store, I would always bring back, a bag of chips and a juice for the kids that were in the neighborhood that was visiting probably my family's house or whatever. So they knew. So like even to this day, they're like, "What's up, Snacks? You don't have snacks anymore. What's going on?" Because I've been on this fitness journey, So it's like I'm not thinking about,
Man.
So they're kind of disappointed in me.
You could still, be the snack man, just healthy snacks, instead of Snickers, you'll have apples or something. You know what I mean? Like you can still promote, healthy snacks.
Right.
But I know what you mean. When everybody thinks of snacks, they're thinking of, chips and candy and all that stuff to just, munch on. But that's the whole point of what we're doing now is to influence those people around us to eat more healthy.
Definitely.
That's the goal. If they see us snacking on, something healthy, it might actually influence, them to kind of like, what, maybe I should change up, my diet. Maybe I could get rid of all these other, bad, high cholesterol, high fat, all those type of snacks, and replace it with something better.
All those bad habits.
All those bad habits.
Because the type of household I grew up in, my family's from the South, so.
Right, mine's too.
It might sound crazy, you maybe can relate to it, but my grandmother actually fried bacon in grease, and bacon actually makes its own grease.
Wow.
So like it was like extra like heart attack stuff that they was feeding us that, the body just got used to intake.
Got used
fried
to it.
Chicken and gravy in the morning. Like we didn't have normal breakfast like eat a box of cereal or something like that. It was more like we had the full course meal, bacon, eggs.
Yeah, Southern style. Yeah.
Yes. The biscuits, we eat those with figs, and sometimes it might be fish and grits, sausage. There was always like 2 or 3 meats and all this stuff. So
it was like you were at IHOP, but at home.
Yeah, all the time. So you get spoiled with it. And young, like well, I'm moving kind of fast, but I'm gonna go back to the snack part, right? Well, no, I actually start when I was younger. Well, growing up, like for school trips and stuff like that, the kids, I didn't have the normal like Lunchable and stuff that the kids had going to school. I had I had the 2 boiled eggs and the Virginia ham in the bag, like squished together in a sandwich, which was probably the best thing that I thought at that time. High blood pressure at, like 9, 10 years old, but it was the best thing that was going on. And actually getting picked on and teased because of it, because, you get in on the school bus with eggs, and, at that age, kids are like, oh,
they can smell it,
yeah. So and then we fished for a living pretty much growing up. So I
Mm.
did a lot of fishing and stuff like that. So I would get teased with stuff like that. So it was growing up
Wow.
trying to fit in and,
Mm.
fit in with certain crowds and stuff. So as I got older later on in elementary school and all of that, then I started getting
Mm-hmm.
these nicknames and started to become more comfortable with, not really happy with being called these nicknames, but if it
Right.
got me the attention I wanted at that time, I took it. And later
Mm-hmm.
on, and when I played sport, I'm a musician. I play trumpet, I play keyboard, I play drums.
Yeah,
You
you
know,
have a lot of different, interests and stuff going on.
right, right. So when it was football season, I was cut between like, am I going to go to the locker room, and
Mm-hmm.
discuss the game, or am I going to go on to the field and play for halftime? You
Right.
know, but growing up, like with this, I remember in like eighth, ninth grade, it was like if you didn't want your hambo or your,
Mm-hmm.
your slice of pizza, I was the one. I was like the human garbage can where they just slid it down the table and I would take it,
And you just took it. Yeah.
and I just took it and ate it. And it's just crazy how, now that I think about it. And
Mm-hmm.
then in high school, I think I started to notice like, man, I'm getting big and bigger and bigger and bigger. And I think I was actually one of the biggest I ever played on our football team in my
Wow.
school district.
Mm.
And I think I was clocking at like 356 or something like that. And I got down to probably like 306 at the ending of the season.
Mm.
And at that
Mm.
time, I was always working two jobs and stuff like that. So I had a little paper route,
Yeah.
and I washed some cars, some the people that knew my family. I did their cars for extra cash, and
Mm-hmm.
I would take that money, and that money would be for lunchtime. So I always thought like, oh, I'm eating good by
Mm-hmm.
being able to go to the pizza shop or being able to ride with my friends to McDonald's at lunchtime and be able to eat all of this stuff and not knowing really that there was no health benefits and no one really explained. They just called it like you were just fat. It was nothing that you can really do
Mm.
about it. The coaches and stuff, they
Yeah.
just told us to go to the gym like 2 3 weeks, 2 3 days out of the
Mm.
week and show up to practice. There was no nutrition that was taught. There was no like
Yeah. You
health
needed
stuff
that.
that
You can't
you
just tell
know
people to just go to the gym or diet and don't give them
right.
any guidance. So we have
And
a comment. My mom is on. She said, "Hey, Quad, Mom, you didn't say hi to Tyrone." I'm
hello,
gonna get her, but she just said hello.
hello,
So I know my
how you
mom is
doing?
always watching and supporting and stuff. So I let her know. I always have to remind her that I have the show. It's like she's keeping track of the show, but then sometimes it slips her mind. So I'm like, I have a show tonight. So she's like, okay, I'm gonna be watching. So
That's
she's
awesome.
she's obviously here
That's
watching tonight and stuff. And she knows
that's
a
awesome.
lot of what you're saying too, as far as the dieting and the food, because our
Right,
family has a history of that too. We were talking about chitlins and stuff the other day,
right,
and I'm like, don't you ever fry those chitlins around me?
right, right,
Even the thought of it like is even like getting to me.
right, right, right.
She said, "Hi, Ty."
How you doing? And the thing about it is like a lot of those things I grown out of, but like I've grown out
Hmm.
of and but I know how to cook all of that stuff. Like it's in that like I remember
Right.
at like I tell this story all the time that when my grandma was very strict, she was like she was like, I don't know, like the army, like hit the floor like 8 o'clock in the
Hmm.
bed. Breakfast time you had to be at the table. You didn't want to eat what she cooked, you go straight to bed. She was like very strong. She was a very strong
Yeah.
person, and it would it's I'm just thinking about her now because just lost. But
Right. I know.
with all of that cooking and stuff, like I remember my siblings, we would be at the house and my grandma would
Hmm.
leave, right? And that was our chance to go in there and show our cooking skills. But my grandma was so on point with it. We would go in the kitchen and like one monitor the front door, one monitor the side of the house. One is hooking up the fan, one is getting the seasoning out, one has got the pan on the stove. So we had the system of like cooking real fast, like hamburgers, and like going in there. We're smoking up this house, but we got the doors open and the fan in the back. That's how we learned how to cook.
Wow.
But until one time she comes in the house and we wash dishes. We had a whole little restaurant, system
going on. Your whole system.
Yeah, she comes in the house and she's like, "Oh well, I smell food in here." We're like, "Oh, I don't know what food you smell." We didn't have any food, so we all got in trouble for that. But that's how we became really good cooks.
Yeah.
And the main thing was like how we grew up was to be if we had something to eat and a roof over our head, that's all that mattered.
That's all right.
And making something out of nothing, but as after high school and stuff, it was like I started college. I started doing music education. I was playing drums at the church. I was traveling with church bands. I played with Aretha Franklin, the gospel concerts, and Carnegie Hall, Lincoln Center, Empire Plaza, all of those platforms for my music and stuff like that. But there was always something that bothered me, which was my weight. And so there was times I did injure my back, back in like 2009, and at that time they were telling me like, "Oh, we want to cut in your back," and I was like, "Oh no way, I don't want anybody cutting in my back." No, so I said I'll lose some weight. Worst case scenario. So within 3-4 years, I lost a little weight,
Yeah.
So I was better. And later on, years later, I don't know where I went through like a little depression state in my mind to where I was just eating to just like be happy or whatever it was.
Right.
And I was just eating everything, and I didn't know the dynamic of what I was doing. I was just like all the time.
Like emotional
and
eating.
Until recently, yeah, it's emotional eating. And until maybe like 2 years ago, 2.5, 3 years ago, I started to understand like the things that I was doing. Like I didn't want to lose a whole bunch of weight. I didn't have a goal. Like to this day, I don't have a super goal. Even though that I'm down 140 pounds, I don't want to put
congratulations,
that much.
By the way.
Thank you.
Now that you mentioned that, that's a huge, accomplishment.
Right.
14 pounds is crazy for a lot of people. I just reached mine, and I'm like, souped up from that. So thank you. 144 is almost like a whole person.
Yes, I lost a whole person.
Yeah.
And with me I started out slowly by like just like cutting out, my activities, hanging out, eating late and stuff like that. I didn't know the math behind like counting calories. I thought that was all nonsense and stuff like that. But all of that stuff matters, Actually, one big inspiration that.
Right.
Yes, one inspiration.
So how did you lose the weight? Because that is something that I know plenty of people would be interested in learning, because you kind of went a different route than most people as far as the way you went about losing it. So can you talk more about that? Yes.
So it's definitely not easy. It's more mental. It's mental wellness. It's a lot, and to this day, sometimes I look in the mirror and they say, people tell you all day, "Oh, you look great, you look awesome," and it's the stigma or whatever that like you have on fat goggles. The other people seeing something and you're not seeing it. And but what I did was I didn't want to go to the gym because I was embarrassed of going to the gym. Number one, if you're overweight, the gym is the only place, well, not the only place, but the perfect place to go to, other than doing home workouts. I never understood, like growing up being a big person, that how people you know, the bullying and the laughing. Why would you laugh at someone that's overweight, that's walking around the track, trying to lose weight,
Trying
compared
to
to one
make
that,
themselves better. Yeah.
and compared to someone that's in shape, you applaud them. I just, you know, that's just how society is, you know, set
Right.
up,
They
I
don't even
guess.
know the story behind, each person that's
Right.
out there.
And you don't know the effect of like what people are going through, why they eat, and all of that. It's just like
Right. You
people just
don't.
say, "Oh, just stop eating. Just stop eating." You can't just stop
No, you
eating.
can't. And you're not even
It's an
supposed to just. You're not
addiction.
supposed to do that.
Exactly. It's an addiction, just like alcohol or anything else that you know, watching too much, binge watching television and all. It's the
Right.
same thing. You got to break those habits.
Right. We
But
all have something.
right. And I try not to be judgmental towards anybody with that. You know, my heart goes out for people. I'm gonna get into how I lost the weight. My heart
Mm.
goes out to people that get and discouraged real fast because they're watching these YouTube videos for one, but not too much the YouTube videos, but watching like Instagram and Facebook, and they have these fitness models on there and stuff
Right.
that were only 140 pounds, and they lost 7 pounds, and now their abs are showing. And you're like, oh, I can never be like that. And I'm like, I lost all of that weight,
All
and
of
I
it.
don't
Right.
have all the abs and all of that stuff. I did mine naturally. I just, you know, I drink a gallon and a half of water a day.
Mm.
Actually, this Rastafarian guy in my town, he saw me. He said, "I see you walking a lot and stuff. You know what the body
Drinking my
needs
little
is
water
water."
too now.
Yes,
Hmm.
I stay with my water all the
We
time.
always got to
No
keep
matter what.
that H2O next to us.
Yeah, so he tells me, you know, you go to a fishing pond and you put your hand in or go to the beach. You put your hand in the sand and put it in the water. He said, "What happens then?" I said, "I don't know." He said, "Eventually, what do you think is going to happen? The sand is going to disappear, and that's just like your body. You drink the
Mm.
water, it's going to reflush. Yes, it feels bloated in the beginning. People don't like that bloated feeling, but
Yeah.
when you're
Feeling.
washing
Yeah.
dishes, when you're cleaning your car or whatever you're doing, you use water first to like maintenance it. And with that, I took that. All right, I'll drink more water. I just didn't like to
Yeah.
drink the water because it made me feel like, oh man, I can't move. But eventually, it started to like my I started to feel better. I started to go to the bathroom a lot, you know,
Mm.
and I noticed like my digestive system started to clear up. And
Right.
so with that, I added, you know, I was taking a taxi to work,
Mm.
and I was like, okay, why am I taking a taxi to work when I can walk? You know,
Mm.
so I started to walk. No, not at first. Didn't start to walk. I started to catch the bus because it was cheaper. Get off at the bottom of the hill and then walk up the
Mm-hmm.
hill. Now I was like, what am I doing? I'm wasting the $6 a day when I could just do the whole trip. Only because I was embarrassed. And I like to
Mm.
express it. It's okay to feel like that you're
Yeah.
embarrassed about this thing. You know, that's what's gonna make you stronger at the end of the day. Because I drove all my life, and you know, people know me in the community for doing mobile detailing and all of this type of stuff. It was like I didn't want anybody to see me on the highway. So people would drive by and
Mm.
say, hey, try to give me a ride. You know what I did? I put my headphones on, and I would just walk
Mm-hmm.
straight, you know, keep my focus, you know. They
Yeah.
can blow all they want. And so after a while, my sister called me. She said, "I'm gonna send you a Fitbit." She gave me a Fitbit. I put the Fitbit on, and
Yeah. Shout out
I
to the Fitbit family.
yeah, yes, I don't have it on today, but I did 10,000 steps,
Wow. I
and I
think
was
what am
like
I up to? I'm up to just 3,000 right now.
3,000.
Yeah.
See, I did because I was working for conference service at that time, and me walking to the job, it was like 2.5 miles there and back. So I would I got the 10,000 steps, and I was like, why can't I do 12,000?
Mm.
I did 12,000. I did 15,000. I said, you know, I'm gonna keep 15,000 for the whole week. Then I went to 20,000, and then it calculated, you know,
Wow.
the calories. I started taking pictures of the the chips or whatever I was eating at that time. And I was like, oh, this is amazing. You know, it's like my own little coach or whatever. So I got up to 30,000 and start winning challenges against people and stuff like
that's amazing.
In the chat with like 10, 12 people, and I'm beating all of these people and they're being competitive, but like in a good way. So I started to get to 40,000. Then for some reason, I'm just strolling through Instagram. No, actually, one of my best friends, he tells me about this guy, Possible Pat. And he says, and he starts to give me math that I never heard before. And he was like, take your body weight times it times 14, you're going to get a number. And whatever that number is, subtract 700 of those calories a day for 7 days, and you're guaranteed to lose 1 pound. So at that time, my body weight was almost like 5,000 calories or 5,500 calories a day that I was eating. And I was like, what am I eating that's 5,000 calories?
Yeah, that's
and I didn't know because,
didn't realize it.
Yeah, and I'm like, wait, hold up. You know what I'm eating to maintain that weight? I never looked at the back of the bag of chips that said 260 calories, but with 10 servings. So that's 2,700, calories in one setting, So I didn't know that math, So that was very helpful. And in sodas and stuff like that, I cut out the sodas. I only drink water, salsa water, and stuff like that.
Right.
And cut out alcohol completely. The water for me did me so much justice. And with the Fitbit thing, they had some exercises on there for wellness and mental health and stuff to sit there. And I'm a person that my brain is always running. I'm always thinking of something.
Yeah, mine is too, all the time.
It's hard for me to slow it down. So I needed something like that, meditation and stuff. Because even when I'm quiet, I'm just thinking all over the place. And that, for me, was like, all right, I understand what's going on. His story was like, he wanted to eat. So he walked to Walmart every day, and he ate what he wanted to and come back. So I took it as like, I'm walking to my job, I can eat what I want, but what would happen if I don't eat what I want and just do the walk? How much better would I feel? So the weight just started coming down. I was at 415, my highest, or maybe even heavier then.
Wow.
And went to the doctor. The doctor told me, oh, you're going to have you got high blood pressure, blah, 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 hypertension. They're going to have to put you on medication. It's not a high dosage, blah, blah, blah. What are you doing? You got to do some exercises. You got to stop doing this. What are you doing? Blah, blah, blah. Right. So I'm like, all my years, this never happened to me. I told my family, I got scared, and I needed to do something about it because I didn't want to be taking pills for the rest of my life.
No, you definitely don't want to do that. If you can reverse it, that's the first thing you should do.
Right.
It's life changing when your health is at risk now.
Right. So in the morning,
wake up call.
Right. And in the morning, so I started slowly but surely, I started taking pictures of myself. I have so many pictures in so many different phones. I started doing a push-up challenge. I could only do 5 push-ups. And the challenges they were talking about were 100 push-ups a day. And I started doing 10, 15, working my way up to 50. And I would take a picture of myself. Then eventually I started seeing results, but not tremendous results, but I started feeling better about myself. My confidence started to kick in.
Right, it changed.
It changed, definitely. And I ended up doing 300 and 400. And I was like, oh, wow. You know what? One day I want to join the gym. I kept saying I want to do the gym because then I got discouraged again. Going on, seeing different videos, you lose all this weight and then you have loose skin and all of this stuff. So people shy away from, losing the weight. I mean, I'm telling you, you feel 100% better when you do lose the weight. I mean, you think clearer, Today I
Yeah,
went shopping
everything
and bought.
changes as you're shedding the weight. You're like getting rid of all that negativity, all those fears, and you know what I mean,
Right,
that you
right,
had, from a child. There's a lot of. It's not just the
right,
weight that you're losing.
right,
You're,
right.
like, you know what I'm saying, losing
And with
all that baggage that came with the weight. The weight was just like the physical, you know what I mean, the physical outcome of everything else that was going on, physical manifestation of, you know what I'm
right,
saying, of
right.
all the stress and things that was going on, throughout your life. It was just showing up
Yeah,
in your weight. With other people, it shows
right,
up in different areas of their life, but yours was showing up through that.
right, right.
I'm just assessing.
And
I don't know.
no, yeah, you're correct. And from there, I started to do like sit-up challenges and stuff like that, and I would get discouraged. And I didn't. There's this saying: someone put down the bat and pick up the feather.
Mm,
Stop being so hard on yourself. Yes,
yeah.
you ate trash. You ate trashy for 3 days. So what? You still have the rest of your life to live. Take those next days and don't starve yourself because you messed up for 3 days.
No,
Continue
you
to
can't.
eat. And I only joined the gym maybe 2.5 months ago.
Mm,
And before I joined the gym, I experienced a lot of different things. I tried hiking. The hiking was something, it was
mm.
different for me. It was during the winter time. I don't know too much about now, with the bears
No,
and all of
I
that
don't
stuff
know
out
about it
there.
at all. So yeah, that's not. You can do
But
that.
yeah, so it's definitely, a full body workout. But so I went to my grandma's house and I grabbed one of the old
Mm,
bikes downstairs and I cleaned it up and I started riding it. And it was about 7 miles I was riding, but I couldn't go up some hills. And it was like, one day I'm going to be able to get up these hills. Now,
mm,
I started during the pandemic last year. Got laid off from my job, and it was
mm-hmm.
almost perfect, but not perfect, because it was time to work on myself,
Right,
and
it was.
with that, it was like, to find out what Tyrone needs in his life and, reassess, what was going on with him. And I just, I started riding that bike and it just took me to places I've never been before. I would never think that I would be riding a bike 60 miles from here, leaving Westchester or going
Yeah,
across
you
all the
be
way
riding
down.
all over.
Right. I'm
Yeah,
still a
people
big
people
guy,
who are
but
tuning in, like they don't know you ride literally across the different bridges
right,
from one
right. I go
side to
across
the next.
New York to New Jersey, back all the way
Literally,
around in
yeah.
a circle. Yeah,
So I,
so
so everyone who who's people who are just tuning in, I just want to let them know that I'm speaking here with my guest Tyrone Smith, and we're just getting into how he started becoming a bike enthusiast. Like you said, you never thought that you would actually end up loving this, because you obviously have a love for it, because it's something that you're passionate about, you're always doing, and it's
right,
it's
right,
helping it's helping to keep you fit, and it's
right,
it's 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 a fun activity,
right,
riding your
right,
bike. You're always all the time, riding your bike, and it's encouraging other people to get on and ride, myself included. So I just want to give you big,
right.
kudos for that. Like you said,
Thank
you
you,
couldn't
thank
get up
you.
the hill the first time that you rode your bike, but now you're speeding up,
Right. Doing over
all
60
different types of
miles.
hills.
Yes.
Hi, October. Dr. Hutley is on. She says hello. She's agreeing with
Hello.
us regarding the bike riding. I know she's really into to riding bikes. I actually have a short clip of that you posted yesterday on your Instagram. So
Okay.
I'm just trying something new, because I have people reaching out to me about this, and possibly adding their video clips and things. So you're actually going to be the first guest that I'm kind of testing this out with, Tyrone. I'm testing it out
Awesome.
live. So we're gonna see how this goes, because I think it's nice for people to actually see you in action. So I'm just
Okay.
gonna add this short clip right now for people to watch. Hold on one second.
Awesome,
Yeah, we're
awesome.
back. So it was just a short
Nice.
clip that I just wanted for people, people to see and share with those who are, who are watching.
Right.
It's October, so yes. Yes, all the way to that. That's just one short clip. You have so many on your Instagram as well
Right.
as your YouTube page of you bike riding, doing all sorts of different activities, and
Yeah.
it's encouraging for people. So I wanted you to come on tonight because I love to have people on who are influencing people to improve on their health. That's what we're all about, especially within our communities. So I
Right.
just wanted to share that real fast. Hopefully everything went through. I know it's live. I know we're in a
Yeah.
thunderstorm right now.
Awesome.
So, you're, like I said, you're, encouraging me as well. And we have another viewer on, Joanna. She says hello. So it's, we're out here. We're all, doing, our thing. And you're definitely out here doing your thing. I always encourage you and, and tell you keep going,
Right.
and we have another comment. October Hutley, she said Irvington, they're having a community bike ride June 20th. So thank you for sharing that. I think it's important that we do share information like that because some people don't want to ride by themselves. They don't want to ride solo. As you know, you ride with a group of people as well sometimes, right?
Yes. I have, that's funny. I have a few people that, actually I got a couple people that want me to start like a boot camp.
Yeah.
And I usually tell them because they want to go on with me because they see my videos. They want to go on these 30 miles and 20-mile trips, and I'm like, it's not that easy. So I got a couple bikes at home. I call them workhorse bikes, and I take you through these trails like the video that you've seen, and it has some hills and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
You can make it pass through that with like 2 or 3 times. With me, you're fine because through the trails it's all straight, until we get into like to the city and stuff like that. But I always encourage people, it's that easy. Bike riding doesn't cost much. Once you get the bike, you actually save money. That's why I think it helped me out a lot too. All I need is 2 granola bars, maybe $5 and 2 bottles of water, and I could go travel the world and and work on my health at the same time.
Right.
So
and that's the most important thing, being able to work on your health.
Right. Definitely.
Yes, you're welcome, Joanna. She said, thanks for sharing. You're welcome. That's what we're trying to do is, share and support each other because it's hard out here when you're trying to work on being healthy or getting healthy, especially when you don't have any knowledge like we were talking about earlier. When people just tell your coaches, for example, just tell you to go and diet or to go to the gym and you don't have nothing to tell you what to do. What's the very first steps? You're almost pretty much like you feel like you're on your own. And, that's hard because when you don't know what you're doing and you're by yourself and you're trying to figure out, it's so much information out here. And when you don't see results at first, you just kind of give up. And a lot of people do that. They'll try all these different diets. They'll actually go to the gym. They'll sign up for a membership. They'll go buy a bicycle. You know what I'm saying? They'll buy all these new fitness clothes and everything like that. And they're hyped up. But then they go to the gym and they don't see results after a month. And a lot of people think like things are supposed to just happen quickly.
Right.
And it's hard. And if you don't understand dieting and nutrition, you're just going to be pretty much wasting your time, on the treadmill, standing still, and your money. And then you're really frustrated because now you feel like you lost money and you didn't get any results.
That's why I tell people I am my best trainer But no matter
Yeah.
how much a trainer tells me to do something, hey, do this, jump here, do that, and do this. It's up to me when I get home to follow through. You know,
Yeah, it is
it's
pretty
almost
much. It
it's
is.
almost like if they don't see me eat it, those calories don't count. No, they do count. You know. So with nutrition wise, for me now, I'm probably eating like a bodybuilder because I want to build more muscle.
Right.
Eating a gram of protein
Mm-hmm.
per body weight. So, to eliminate and fat, you can't turn fat into muscle. This is the saying. Like you said, there's so
Yeah.
many different ways people, I just knew for myself, because I started out doing a lot of cardio. I actually looked smaller in videos from last year than this year. This year I put on more body mass. And because it was
Yeah.
like doing cardio all the time, doing the push-ups. I would only eat a can of beans in the morning for the
Wow.
fiber and stuff like that. The afternoon I would drink all water, and then at lunchtime at work I would just eat tuna fish and a little, and then at night
You're good to do all that.
yeah, I was scared of taking protein drinks and all of that. I didn't know the effects of my body and all of that, what was gonna do. So now, like, I hear people say, you have to eat to lose weight, but it's what you're eating. So it's
It
to
is
get
what
the
you're eating.
system to get the system flowing, I guess, and digestive system and all of that. So I
Right.
even tried doing like becoming a vegetarian slash, I don't know what I was trying to do, but
Yeah, I done tried different. Well, I actually still am. I would consider like a pescatarian because I do mostly
right,
like fish and fruits and vegetables. I do cut out
right,
all that other pork and red meat
right.
and all that stuff. But
And it makes
it's hard. I don't really even like to put labels
yeah,
on it. I mean, you just want to eat healthy.
right. So what was good for me, I like what I thought. What I never would thought like just taking black beans and a tortilla with sweet
Mm-hmm.
potatoes and eating that tastes amazing. And I was actually satisfied. Like I never was a steak eater because that when you
Mm-hmm.
eat steak, it always made me feel like that feeling like when you eat a hamburger because it does something to your bloodstream. I can't get all into that. I'm not a doctor or anything like that, but
Right.
a lot of the videos I watch, like does the how the food, the meat digests in your system and all of that is just not that good for you. But they
Right.
tell you to
No,
eat
it's not.
chicken breast and all of that, and our society tells you to eat meat to get big. And now we're
Right.
finding out, like, those people in the Roman days and all of that when they was fighting in these arenas and stuff, they didn't have freezers and refrigerators to put
No, they sure did.
cattle in and stuff like that. So they got big and strong off eating off the land, fruits and vegetables.
Right. That
And
was
that's
all they
one thing
had.
to think
Right.
about. So it was a delicacy to have, a ham or whatever it was that they cooked. So when
Yeah.
you just start thinking like that, they were bigger and stronger and they lived longer. So
Yeah, they definitely did. They didn't have everything that we have in our foods, which
right.
is
And
a crazy
I
amount
don't
of stuff we don't
understand.
need.
I'm not against the McDonald thing and all of that. Look, hey, for each his own or whatever. But I've
Mm-hmm.
noticed when I drive by the fast food, this random, but drive by the fast food places, they're
Mm-hmm.
completely packed. I don't know what they're putting
They
in
are.
that food. I
Even
mean,
during the pandemic. Yeah, they're still
it's
packed.
right. And people, me right now, the meal prepping, all right, to telling myself I'm not perfect. That's why I say it's a lifetime thing. That it's a daily,
Yeah.
day by day thing.
Mm-hmm.
They tell me the meal prep, boom, boom, boom. I started meal prepping when I first started losing weight, and
Mm.
I would eat all 5 of the meals within a day and a half. So
Yeah, you're not supposed to
what
do
are
that.
meal? Yeah, you're not supposed to do that, but eventually, I got better with it. I tried
Right.
the intermittent fasting, not eating in the morning, and just I think before you go out there and throw your money at anybody to like
Mm-hmm.
tell you what to do, it has to be in your mind that this is what
Yeah,
you
it's
want to
up
do.
here. It's in your mind. It starts
Right,
with you first. So we
right,
have some comments that I wanted to share. Joanna, she said, "Yes, I go to the gym almost every day trying to lose my weight." Yeah, it's really a struggle. even, getting up to go, to the gym.
But
You know what I
don't
mean? And
always
if you could
look
do
at
that, that's the first step.
right. Like I said in the beginning, like this morning I went to the gym. I did not want to go. I was tired.
Yeah.
The 10 minutes in there, after 10 minutes turned into an hour and a half,
Right.
And you have to learn not to look at the scale. The scale.
Right. I'm not a fan of that. I look once a week and that's it.
Right, but not even that, because your body, like I was saying the other day, I was wearing a size 56 pants. I went shopping today and I put on a size 40, and I was amazed by it. I'm like, whoa, just last year I was performing my horn and I had to go get a pair of pants, and I said, you know what, I probably could wear a 46. I wore the 46. So 2 days ago I went to go get another pair of 46. I couldn't wear them. Mind you, my weight didn't go down much, but the inches disappeared. So that's how the body is. So don't get discouraged by, not seeing the numbers
I always
go
tell
down.
people, I mean, obviously the number is important, but it's not the only thing that you should be looking, at as far as your progress, because your weight does change, especially if you're working on, gaining muscle mass. So, people sometimes get upset when they're losing so much weight and then they just become stagnant for a while. And a lot of times it's not necessarily, the fact that, because you're not losing weight, you're not doing what you're supposed to. It's that you're like you were saying earlier, the fat, has turned into muscle mass. You may have lost other things, not just specifically just pounds. So a lot of people, get stuck on, just focusing on the scale, which is why I have a scale at home that measures all different things, my BMI weight, my water weight, all different things, so that I'm not just looking at just the number in pounds. I can see the different changes in my body, which is encouraging. Because if I don't necessarily lose a certain amount of weight that particular week, I know that I have, made progress in other areas. So Dr. Holly, she says, great topic. Thank you. Yeah, like I said, we're here just trying to, help people. She said, you're making me hungry. We're all I'm always hungry. Tyrone knows that. So yeah, I love to go out to eat. That's why I don't have no money now. Always spending money.
See, and that's the thing too. The air fryer, this new invention, it's like gift to the earth. A lot of people, it helped out a lot of people. Number one, if you're like me, I don't like dishes. So the air fryer works out for me perfect. To take a chicken breast, cut it in half, put it in there, 20 minutes is done. Rinse the thing off and you're out of there. And the mindset that I've learned is to eat to live and not just to eat
Right, you can't.
So
yes, Joanna, don't give up.
No.
We all get frustrated.
And that, like, the sodium intake that you take, like throughout the week or throughout the day, sodium kills us. It gives us, with blood pressure and all of that. That's why I said we have to look at those labels on the back of the stuff that we're eating. And the safest thing is to eat the vegetables and the 2 servings of vegetables a day and drink tons of water. Because you don't have to really look on the back of a package for, for green pepper, yellow pepper, and chop that up with onions and put some mushrooms or whatever and saute it. That little stuff tastes very good. Now I eat for the flavor. Before I used to eat to get full and just I can't breathe. But now I eat for, you won't need to eat a lot if you eat the right things. The right things, yeah. It kills that taste bud. You're like, oh, I'm fine. I'm satisfied. Sometimes I remember eating a whole cheeseburger and French fries and then later eating some wings, and then I would need some type of sweetness to top it off. Not because I was hungry, because the burger and fry didn't satisfy me, Yeah.
Yes. She said Joanna is doing great. We definitely need people around us that's, going to remind us when we are doing well.
Right, definitely.
That definitely that can get to you. which is why it's important to have, somebody who's going to be accountable, you know what I mean? Or make you accountable, I should say. Somebody who does, like you said earlier, you don't have goals, but for fitness, you have to have some type of goal. You just can't say, I want to lose weight or that I want to have biceps. It's like you have to have steps of how you're, you know what I'm saying? You gotta have steps, Tyrone. I'm going to get on you about that. You have to have some steps in place, and it's not just with fitness. That's in life in general. You can't just say, I want to be a millionaire. You know what I mean? Like how? Like how are you going to become that millionaire? What steps are you going to take today in order to get to that millionaire status in a year, in 5 years? So you have to have some plan in life, period. And it's the same thing with fitness. You actually have to have set some goals, and things may change, of course, but you have to have some type of guidance that you're going to follow daily, weekly, monthly. Even if you have to write out your goals, post a picture of your favorite, celebrity and what they look like. I just say, I always have Serena Williams up, some type of picture so that you have some type of image where it's like when you feel like giving up, you're going to be like, oh, well, Serena didn't do this. Serena got those buns, and still, do I want to have those too? So it's like, if you want that, you have to put the work in. People don't necessarily look like that, overnight. They actually have to work to not only get there, but as a fitness person, you have to keep being consistent with it. You know what I mean? You could be working out and looking great and all this stuff, and then you go a week without going to the gym. It just feels like everything just fell apart. You know what I mean? So it's like you have to be consistent with it. If you want to keep those abs, you just can't go back eating just anything just because you have abs now. You know what I mean? Those abs can go just as quickly as they came. So that's another part that's hard for people. It's like you said earlier, the lifestyle, being able to not just do it for a month or two.
Right. And my thing is, like you said, in the beginning, I had these goals of losing weight. Now, because I got so distracted by looking at the scale, when I say I don't have an actual goal, the only goal I have is to build muscle. So I should probably clarify that a little more. But what I did for myself, I went to the dollar store. You can go to the dollar store. Actually, I was telling my sister about this. She said, I want you to help me out. I said, the easiest thing, like for me making all these mistakes, I can, I love to talk to people, hear their story, because I'm not judgmental of it. And I also say, like, when you see these people on Instagram and different places, and they almost forget, I know, maybe it's just me seeing it, but they almost forget where they started at. To where I see like someone that I looked up to, like Possible Pat. Like I looked up to this guy, like he was 600 pounds. He lost 300 and he became like this muscle man. Like I was like, how can you be 300 and be solid muscle? Just like Shaq, he was over 300 solid muscle. So I think that's a possibility, But then when he got to that point to where like fame started to get into it, it was like he forgot what it was like to be 300, 400, 500 pounds, and it was like, oh, take your chips. If you want to lose weight, you're gonna have to do this. You're gonna do. There's more than just telling people. You gotta understand what people are going through. Encourage them into doing it. So what I'm saying by that, I'm saying to my sister and my family, friends, or whoever, is go to the dollar store and get the little calendar thing, and it gives you a marker, and just write down your goal wise. Look, 10 sit-ups. And write the numbers throughout the month, May 1st all the way down to the bottom. If you hang this up in your house, in your kitchen, or somewhere, eventually you'll notice that you skipped a couple days.
Yeah.
And that was always like a reminder for me, like, okay, I skipped a day. I'm going to work even harder today to make up for that day. Only with the working out part, not with the eating part, So that was a big help for me. Maybe I should go back to that. My goal this summer was to do 100 miles. I did 60. I got up on Easter morning and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to take a little ride and come back to the house. I just was going with the wind, and I went all the way down across, I felt free, and it's like my legs hurt.
It is.
And and it pissed me off even more because my legs was hurting because I wasn't riding as much. So, and I want to get people to ride with me, like do nonprofit, you know, for like autism or whatever it is, you know, even for some cultural arts or something that's in school or whatever it is, you know.
Right.
That's something I like to do. And also I know you have mentioned like I do the mobile detailing. When I started
So
out doing
I wanna get into that. We do have one last question as far as the health aspect. October said, do you stop eating at a specific time? I know I personally don't.
in the beginning, yes. In the beginning, yes. Because they you know, the thing, like, you got to give the body time to digest things. So if you're looking up like how long does it take for fruits to digest, how long does it take for chicken or fish and stuff, and then if you Google stuff like that, you kind of figure out like what's good for you. Eventually, the body, if you eat 5,000 calories at night, is not, or in the day, whatever it is in that 24-hour period is gonna remain that same thing. So I used to do the intermediate fasting. You wonder how these people do it, like the movie stars can lose all of this weight and stuff. They do the intermediate fasting, like 8 hours, 16 hour, 12-hour things, because let's say whatever they ate 12 hours, the body had enough time to actually clean everything is out of the body and then just restarting all over in your body like that. So I don't have a specific time, but I try to stay away from snacks and stuff at nighttime. There are healthy snacks. I mean, eventually after you know, like even the sugar, you ever wonder like, why do I have a sweet tooth right now? The body is like, if you stay abstinence away, stay away from it, eventually the body won't want it. Like soda, sometimes soda is hard for people to stop drinking. I mean, if you look at
it is.
A 16-ounce thing of soda and you actually know what is like 32, 36 grams of sugar, would you actually sit there and pour that sugar down your throat?
Right.
Probably not.
People don't think about it that way. It's just
You
that they're
know,
so accustomed to it. But you and I, we don't even drink soda. I can't even tell you really the last time I had a soda. It not at all. I think maybe it's 2019 that I can really say I had like a Pepsi or Coke soda. You know what I'm saying? The most I've had was like a ginger ale, because I always got some stomach problems because I'm always eating all these different foods I should be eating. But as far as like soda, yeah, it's been probably 2 years. And I don't really have a taste for it at this point, you know, anymore, because I'm like you, always drinking, you know, waters or tea or juices or protein shakes. Now I don't even really have a taste for the soda anymore. It kind of almost makes me feel ill thinking about that.
But if you go grab that Kit Kat bar, and mind you, if you didn't, you know, or that Snickers or that Payday that you like, and you haven't ate it in 2 weeks, and you eat it tonight, 3 days from now, you're gonna have a sweet tooth for something. You're like, why do I want some ice cream? Why do I want? Because the sugar's back in your body. The insulin
is back in you again, right?
Yeah. So the best thing is to stay away from certain things. It's hard. It's not easy. If you eat 6 candy bars a week, eat 5.5 next week. Then only eat 5.
Right. Break it down. Right.
Break it down slowly, and that's my thing.
6 candy bars a week, Tyrone's a lot. That's extreme.
That's only one a day, but
that's extreme. A week?
Sometimes you need it. I don't know.
I know that person's dentist is happy.
Right. And you know, another thing, I used to late night munchies. Because there was no place open. I would always go to like 7-Eleven or something like that. And I never paid attention to that hot dog or that cheeseburger bite that was like 500 calories. And I would get, and you're coming back from a night out on the town and you get 2 of those and just the nachos and you just and all in there. You wake up in the morning like, oh, what did I eat? You know, and then you don't even know. So, you know, it's definitely not easy. And
it's a big thing to actually start paying attention to what you're actually eating. instead of
Right.
just eating because you feel hungry.
Right.
You know, actually looking at what you're eating. And, you know, it's a good way. We was talking about earlier, you know, just write down, you know, what it is that you're eating, and you'll be shocked. It's the same thing like with your checking accounts. When you go back and look and see
Right.
what you're spending your money on, they tell us to do that when we're budgeting. It's the same thing with food.
Right.
You actually need to start writing down and watching what you're eating, and then you're going to start looking at the pattern and noticing, oh, you know, when I ate this is when I started to feel, you know, yucky. I felt bloated after this. You start to pay attention to what might actually be triggering certain things in your body. You know,
Right.
so it's everything is connected, but we don't think about it. We're just going about our daily life and picking out whatever we can grab. And like you said, we're not meal prepping, so it's like we just run out the door, and then the first place you go, you know, is McDonald's.
Right.
And you're in a line for another hour, and when you're sitting there, you're probably munching on whatever you got. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you left in your car the night before or something. You're munching on that, your chips and shit, cheese doodles and stuff, and then you're picking up, you know, a Big Mac.
Right.
And then you're still hungry after that.
Right. And I think it's very important that, you know, there's any parents or anybody on here, even for myself, you know, teaching how to eat and stuff is so beneficial for, you know, the kids growing up in school, because I got teased and picked on and stuff like that. And I wouldn't dare want, you know, another kid to go through what I had to go through to get where I'm actually at now. And I'm not all the way there, you know. I'm just, you know, I'm still working on me to become a better me. And I just hope that I am encouraging someone out there, you know. If it starts at home,
you are.
You know,
I told you earlier, you are. People are watching
and you never know who's watching you. And that's the thing. I wasn't gonna start a YouTube channel or Instagram. It was just people just going in my inbox saying, "Hey man, how did you do that? Hey man, yo, I'm watching you, boom, boom, boom." And and I'm like, what? I forgot that you were even a Facebook friend. I didn't even know. I don't notice you, like, but they're actually watching you, you know.
They
and I'm
are.
like, well, if it's for the good, you know, go ahead and watch me, you know. Eventually, hopefully one day you say, if he can do it, I can do it. And I like when my friends say that, because, you know, the guys got the ego thing. Oh yeah, I can do that. I can do that. You know. Then they get on the bike and then they can't get up the hill, and they looking at me like,
talking about get up the hill.
But you was talking all that smack last night, you know. So
because they think it's easy. People think walking and riding a bike and going on a treadmill. No, it's not easy. Right. And like we said earlier, it really starts with up here first, and then the body follows pursuit. So we want to just shift gears real quick. You want to add something else? Because I know you want to talk about your mobile detailing business for everyone that's watching, and how, you know, how that started and how people can reach out to you. Well, you're mobile, so obviously you're able to go to them if needed be.
Right. Well, I cleaned cars for a number of years. You know, growing up, it was like, you know, neighborhood kid that, you know, went, you know, knocked on the door and asked me, rake your yard. I was the kid that knocked on the door and said, hey, can I clean your car? And it was something that I was fascinated about cars. You know, I had over 30 cars myself. You know, I was always crazy about cars. And I probably didn't clean my room as much as I would like to clean a car, but I just knew it until getting quick money, fast money. And but later on in life, you know, other than me being a musician, I was working for this place that, you know, celebrities used to come to. Bruce Willis, Vanessa Williams, her mom, Miss Williams, was actually one of my music teachers. She taught at the school district here. And just like Michael Douglas, the Clintons, because they all live up in this area.
Right.
And I was working at this place that really probably didn't appreciate me, to be honest with you. And I trained over, like, the place was a revolving door. I trained over like maybe 200-300 people. That's how bad that is, a revolving door. I worked there for 5 years. I had to upsell detailing service. I started from the bottom there. They had me in the tunnel. They moved me out to the front. Eventually, I was the only person that spoke English there, so they moved me into the sales position. I started making all of this Kahoot money and stuff like that. And they hired somebody else to, to help me out, and then we would clash because of blah blah blah, commission and all of this stuff. And I want more, I'm getting better, and they're getting cheaper. They're getting more, and I'm like, what's happening? 2% is not enough for me. 3% is not. Don't give me pizza. Don't buy me a chicken cutlet. Give me money on my check. So
that's right.
But eventually, when you start to demand these type of things, and eventually we clashed.
Yeah.
And the manager was like, "Oh, I have no use for you anymore." Blah blah blah, whatever. So I got out of there. I had some money saved, and the money was starting to run out. After a while, and I actually, this is true story. I got down to my last $100, and I was sitting there back against the wall in my car. I had maybe a half a tank of gas, and I was driving a Camry at that time. And I said, you know what? I'm going to Walmart. I don't train people to clean cars and stuff. Why can I do it? So I went to Walmart. I bought me some carpet shampoo, leather conditioner, got me some rags, microfiber rags, and all of this stuff to clean cars. That next morning, I said, I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna stop at every gas station. Everybody that picks up a vacuum cleaner or whatever over there, I'm gonna tell them, hey, look, I can clean that for you. So in the beginning, I didn't have any cards. I didn't have any logos on my shirt or anything like that. So people were like, whoa, hold up. This is before coronavirus, though. But I was just like running up on people, hey, you can take my number, boo boo. And they would say, do you have a card? And I heard that so many times. I was giving people my email and stuff. And I wasn't, I'd never checked my email like that. But that's how people were reaching out to me. Later on, I found out people were contacting me like that. And I did a couple cars, and I started going to people's houses, the job parking lots, but I didn't have all the equipment that I needed. I was doing a 2-bucket system, clean water, 2 buckets, one with soap, one with clean water. And I would clean people's cars like that. And I had to plug up vacuums and stuff. And I used to beat on the seats and to wipe up, the sand or whatever. It was the hard way, but I respect the hard way because today I can appreciate that, and eventually I ran into these. I got a client that was like, "Oh, can you come and clean this car for me?" And she was about to get rid of it, so I needed the space. So I sold my other car. She gave me this one, and I got a water mechanism. One of the engineers that I was working at somewhere else, and. Sorry about that. Engineer, that's weird, but engineer, he made me a water container, and gave me actually a what is it called? Yeah. Gave me the whole setup for my the power washer and all of that. So
wow, that was fortunate.
Yes. And because I kept telling him I had this idea, and I just explained it to him, and he was like, I got some stuff. Let me put it together. He put it together for me and put it in the back of the car, and I just went off to the races with it, And what happened was that $100, let me backtrack, that $100 turned into $1,500 within 30 days. I was able to pay my rent and everything without a job.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So I said, if I can make $100 clean a car a day, I can make $3,000 in a month. What? And then in the beginning, I was just chasing the money, like, hey, actually a friend invested in me. He bought me the cards, and then eventually, I got this shirt right here. Tyrone Mobile Detailing.
Yes.
But if I put it on now, you can see how much weight I lost. You see that?
Right.
I'm no longer that person anymore. But
we still need some shirts though.
Right.
Yeah, you gotta get on that. Put some stack fit shirts because You know, that's your brand as well as your mobile detailing.
Right, right. So I made that money, and then I made with that $100, I made $1,500, and I had chemicals. I had enough chemicals to do 45 more cars. So I was like, this is the perfect opportunity. Now, mind you, I went through all my platforms, Instagram and Facebook, and I would post up stuff, but people would hit me like, because I know thousands of people, they would want discounts. They would want this. They would,
Right,
you
yeah.
know, it would always run into, that's just like the losing weight, the weight loss journey, this entrepreneur stuff doesn't happen overnight. And I would have some of the older cats
Right.
tell me like, you know, just keep going, going. You're gonna make mistakes, you know, you're gonna learn from
Yeah,
it.
you will.
And it was just at the end of the day, I was chasing people and I was banking on that money. Like if you tell me that you want this car to be clean. So I was looking forward to that getting that money from that vehicle. And that started to discourage me. So I had shot my resume out there again and got me another job. And once I got the other job, of course, now the mobile detailing is picking up. Everybody wants me now. Now I don't want them to have a name like, oh, he's not prepared, or, you know, he's not reliable. So I try to get other people to work with me. You know,
Right.
I get other people to work with me. You know, I could do 2-3 cars, make $200-300. You know, go home and relax. You know, and that's the fun thing about it. So I can have more time for me.
Right, to do other
But
stuff. Yeah.
yes, long story short, I just, you know, with that showed me like when your back is against the wall, you know, these things, you know, you can do anything that you want, you know.
Yeah, you
And I know
could.
I was huge at that time, and I was trying to clean these people's cars. I could barely fit in these cars that people wanted me to clean. You know, like they got a little, you know, a Vayo or a Neon or something like that. I can't barely get in there and stuff like that. But I learned so much about cleaning these vehicles, and now I do have my
Yeah.
Tyrone Mobile Detailing on Instagram.
Yes,
And
yes. Please
I,
share with people of
yes,
how they can reach you on social media, because
yes,
it's a growing business,
right. I
and
haven't put
you're definitely starting to push it more.
Yes, and I haven't put much content on there because I was actually using a different mobile detailing Instagram. So actually, if you type in Tyrone Mobile Detailing, it'll actually pop up. And from there on, I'm gonna start putting all the content that I have, you know, so you can actually
Yes.
see the work that I do. It's some amazing work, you know.
Yeah, it
And
definitely is. You
and
know,
I
I got
get
my
great
car
prices.
sitting out here waiting for you too.
Right, right.
So
And I make it convenient for you, you know. My biggest thing, my soul pitch was like, you know, it's expert detailing at your convenience. You know, Saturday mornings and Friday nights, when you get off work, you don't want to go sit in a line for 35,
no,
45 minutes when you could be at home showering up and getting ready for the night. Or in the morning, Saturday, you just want to lay around and have breakfast and stuff. Why not have
right,
Tyrone clean your car in front of the house, you know?
right.
Or, you know,
Definitely convenient. Yeah.
yeah, so and then hand wash, you don't have to worry about the foamy dirt that car washes that I was trained to tell people, oh, there's, you know, it's brushless and all of that. But all it is just extra foamy dirt that goes down the streams of, and they just slap it against your car. At the end of the night, you still have to power wash, you know, all of that stuff down there. But,
Wow, now you're gonna have me looking funny at my car
oh,
whenever I
yeah.
go. I'm
Yes,
due for my car wash this weekend, and now I'm gonna be looking.
oh, yeah,
I'm
pay
like,
attention
that's
to
why I
it.
should have had Tyrone Mobile Detailing come
Definitely,
over
definitely.
here across the water.
Right. So I'm right now. You know, in the beginning, I used to buy all of these chemicals and stuff like that. Now I don't use as much chemicals. I'm much more efficient with the cleaning and stuff because not everybody can deal with the chemicals. But I do use
Right.
99.9, you know, germ and virus killers and stuff like that. So you do get all of that service with it. I clean the
Right.
carpets, I get scratches out. And one thing I'm not going to tell you, like, if I can't get it out, I can't get it out. I'm not, and I do before and after pictures so you can see,
Yes,
for
please. Yeah.
security purposes, and I think you would be satisfied with that. It's only me doing it now. I would hope one day that it
That's
grows
right
up
now.
big so I can, expand it huge, but I'm ready for anything, like any challenge. So
Yeah, and it's definitely coming. I guess, I told you before, you just have to keep at it again
yeah,
with goals, have goals in mind.
right,
What steps you think you need to take, if you need to get a loan, if you need to get a vehicle. So these are
right,
all things, I know you've been thinking about it. And
right,
pretty much now it's just about doing,
right,
just
right,
taking action and believing in yourself.
right,
that
exactly.
you that you can that you can take this business far, and you never know what this business may do for you, period.
Right.
You know what I mean? You
And
may be starting off here and it might grow and bring you into other things, other ventures.
right. So in the beginning, like when I started doing this, also, like I kept handing people my cards, like, and getting discouraged about no
Hmm.
one calling me back, and I started to break down. It's a mindset thing. You have to change your mindset. That
Yeah.
let me sign contracts with people and do contracting. Like, all right, I go to your house, I do your mother's car, your husband's car, your daughter and your son's car, and I do the auntie car and the neighbor car. I do that
Right.
twice a month for $600 or $700. Oh wait, I got that on my list. I track it down. That's $1,400 right there from that one house alone. Then I got this other house that mother and father, or husband, or grandma, or
Right.
auntie, or whatever it is. Boom, boom, boom. Instead of me driving around, hey, you want me to clean your car? Boom, boom, boom. Because that stressed me out in the beginning, to be honest.
Yeah.
So it's a lot to be learned with the entrepreneurship. You get discouraged, just like the weight loss journey. I'm just loving it right now, and I'm thankful for the people. I'm thankful for you. Thank you for the audience. Because it
Yeah,
encourages
definitely
me more to
appreciate you.
do better.
I definitely, I guess was saying, appreciate you, coming on tonight, sharing. I know a big part of the show was us discussing, your fitness journey, but
Right.
it's a part of your story. It's a big part of your story.
Yes.
And I can even say it's part of your story as a businessman.
Right.
I mean,
Right.
following yourself and what you have accomplished so far, and that is only going to help you as an entrepreneur,
Right.
because
Right.
now when you set your mind to something that you can do it,
Yes. Yes.
and that's gonna take you far in other areas of your life. It only
Definitely.
takes that one thing, that one time, to push you to do well in other areas.
And that was with a $100 bill.
Right.
Well,
Yep.
can you imagine? That's
Right. Just with that, just imagine with more what
yes.
what
Yes.
you can do. Well, they do say it
Definitely.
starts with a dollar and a dream.
Right.
You
Right.
know,
Right.
that's all it takes. You have to start somewhere.
Yes. Yes.
So do you have anything else you would like to share, with the audience? I always ask my guests, um, do they have an on the Q tip perhaps that you would like to share as well? Anything. It doesn't have to necessarily be about fitness or mobile detailing, but anything else that you would like, to share.
I I just want to say, just be all you can be, and just keep, baby steps are still steps moving forward. And that's
Right.
how I look at it. It's a day at a time, a week at a time. Even if you have to go a second or 5 minutes at a time to, working on a better you. And that's what life is about,
Yes.
working on a better you. And one of my my sayings is, I didn't mention it earlier. There's no need to
Mhm.
call yourself a snack if you're not fit.
Yes, I was waiting for that to come.
Yes, there's no need to call yourself a snack. So I get kind of upset because I
Mm.
feel like I'm the only snack in this world,
Oh snap!
because
Let me get up now. That's it. The
only
show is over.
because I had this name, and then all of a sudden everybody wants to be a snack.
Well, that's
You
what you
know?
want. I mean, you're the original snack,
Yes,
but
I'm the original
you
snack.
want people to follow you. You want other little
Yes,
snackers.
But now, now it's like, it's more than just that name now, because
Right.
I see people that, well, not even seeing people that, and also, like, yes, there was one thing of me having snacks and, liking to cook and having all of that type of stuff. But also they used to call me snacks in a way when I dress up nice. Like when I have on a three-piece suit or something like that, they would even add different names to the snack daddy or snack, so
Snack
it was like,
daddy.
yeah, it would like make me feel good about it. And it's like, you see somebody, they say, "Ooh, you're looking like a snack." But you look
Right.
like a snack, but you can't run up to the top of the stairs. You look like a
Mm.
snack, but you can't, you park your car park the car down the street and then walk to the store, like things like that. So there's no need to, I mean, I'm saying that to be real to myself.
Right.
So me saying that or calling myself snacks is more than a look,
Right.
to me.
It's
So
that's
that's
the whole lifestyle.
right. So if you can be snack or look like a snack and be fit, that's awesome. That's all I gotta say.
So again, I know we're about to sign off tonight. So again, just briefly tell people how they can reach your personal page, your fitness, your mobile business. Just let people know again briefly how they can reach you.
Yes. Well, if you have any questions or you have any ideas that you want to share with me, converse, talk about,
Mm-hmm.
even want to work with me with anything,
Right.
can contact me at my fitness page, SnackFit914. I try to be an inspiration of a lot of different things, but I
Yes.
always include wellness and mental health with
Right.
my journey. I think you can lose the weight. I know tons of people that lost the weight, but mentally the bodies are not connected. So my thing is finding peace within yourself, and
Yes.
you'll be a happier person. And for the mobile detailing, I'll just go straight to my Tyrone Mobile Detailing.
Mm-hmm.
It's on Instagram. I do have a YouTube platform. You can see a couple, more videos of, see how big I was. Now I'm sitting down in the
No.
car. You can't really tell. All you have to do is type in SnackFit914. And get involved, get active, and get in charge
Yes.
of your
Get
life.
active.
Get
Yes.
active. If I can help you out, I like to inspire to be inspired. Like, like someone
Right.
telling me, it helps them out. It helps me. It makes me want to go.
Yeah.
So, like,
Mhm.
I'm not into the boxing yet, but
Not yeah.
my friend,
That's on me right there.
yeah, see, that's all her right there. She's encouraging, and I like that about her.
Yeah.
So it's adding a different aspect. I can learn from anybody. And I just appreciate everybody listening to me tonight. Thank you
Yeah, I
very much.
definitely appreciate all the viewers that came on, the people that were on live tonight who commented. We had people also sharing while we were doing the show. So I definitely appreciate that. I always tell people keep swaying yourself to a healthier self. You guys know where to follow me on the Q Productions on Facebook, YouTube, as well as Instagram and Twitter as well, even though I'm not on there as much. I am there, so maybe I'll get back on eventually. And I'm also selling my hoodies on teespring.com / address on the Q. So I'm selling those right now. You can just go on the website, click the green button, receive your discount, all that jazz. So, I appreciate the support regards to that and people coming on, like I said, supporting us on this podcast. I'm here every other Wednesday. Always have, wonderful guests as Tyrone Smith tonight that come on. They always drop some great knowledge. And this is what's necessary, us coming together and sharing our own personal stories and inspiring those around us. So that's what we're all about. So again, I want to thank you, Tyrone, for coming on tonight.
Thank
It's
you.
been a great show. I have to go back and watch it again as well. I learned some new things, about you. Sometimes you think you know so much about someone, and then they start telling you more to the story. You're like, oh, okay, now I know where that came from and stuff. So I appreciate you.
I appreciate you too. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Now you're starting to fade away. So I'm scared with you out there. You around some woods and so I want you to make sure you get home, safe tonight. So
Yeah.
up there in upstate New York.
Right.
But again, I want to thank you, for coming on tonight and everybody who tuned in tonight. So just have a good night and stay wonderful, stay blessed, stay fit.
Later.
All right, good night, everyone.
Good night.